Welcome to chapter 27.
Hey.
This chapter, creepy. All right. This chapter, I'm asking the questions to my mom. So,
Yes. So
this is
I'm in the
her
hot seat. I
27.
can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
Do we,
I
what,
get such joy out of picking on you. Oh
I'm
dear.
glad someone does.
Yeah.
Anywho, no,
Yeah.
this chapter 27 is my mom's last chapter of the book that she wrote. So,
Yes, it is.
so we're going to dive in here. So, Mom, what were some of the most valuable resources or strategies you found to support me, and how did they make a difference in my learning journey?
Boy, you're really stretching it because that was a long time ago.
Hmm.
Strategies. It's really hard for me to look back because there wasn't much out there. I didn't have the internet and all these wonderful resources to rely on. So really, my strategy was the information that I got from the healthcare organization I had you tested at and have them as a resource and school. I think the school, we really lucked out to have at the time a really great learning disabilities group that had good information. And as far as setting things up and getting you prepared, they also gave me, information in your IEPs on what we could be doing at home. But it was pretty limited, to be perfectly honest with you. We didn't have a ton of things as resources back then, but I relied heavily on the school, probably more so. I just didn't have the additional resources that are available now.
Well, hold
Now,
on. I'm gonna call you out on that. I didn't you have me go take a class?
yeah, and I don't remember how we got that. I think we got that through the school. There was a gal that had come up. She was from somewhere else in the States, a lady who did a lot of work with, especially dyslexia. So she had come up for the summer, was up in Wisconsin, and offered to do a class. And I think it was through the school that I found out about that. So yes, you did do, I think, was it a week-long class?
It wasn't very long. I remember Danny driving me to it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I think it was a week-long class or maybe 2 weeks at the most that you did go in and learn some different techniques. But again, I believe that was through the school.
yeah, either
So
way though, it was another resource that
oh,
we could
absolutely.
do.
Absolutely. And I did, my own research in the library and, tried to look up as much as I could. But again, it was so much more limited than what there is today.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are so many resources and support groups and things you can go check out today. So I just totally encourage you to use everything you have at your fingertips or where you work or at the school. Ask questions, be the squeaky wheel, and get the answers that you need.
Yeah, and also I just want to make it very clear too, because I understand, like, again, we didn't have a ton of quick, quick resources like online or whatever.
Accessible. Yeah.
Now, these days, sometimes there's too much out there that is super
True.
overwhelming. So I want
True.
people to know, like, we see you, I see you. It is very difficult, but that's where that community comes in,
Yeah.
talking with the school, whether it's a school or maybe a disability center. So there's like dyslexia centers out
Right.
there. There's
Right.
different types of resources that hopefully will be in your area. And if not, there's a ton of online great, amazing people from all over the world that are working and putting out great content as well.
Absolutely.
But find a couple. Don't inundate yourself with everything because then
No,
it's like it's too much.
you
But
get pulled in too many directions.
and it's just you're gonna just be spinning. And so just
Yeah.
be gracious with yourself and find a couple people that you're like, wow, this is great. Talk to some other parents, whatever you need to do. But yeah, definitely you have more opportunities to research. But
Right.
nowadays it's almost flipped where it's just
Too
so
much.
much that
You're
you're like,
right.
what the crap do I even do? So take it step by step, see what works really well for your child,
Yeah.
and kind of keep moving forward from there.
Well, and the talking to other parents, not being ashamed to say, I'm dealing with this. Have you had any problems? And, as you tell those stories, the people that can help you kind of come out of the woodwork.
Hmm.
So again, it goes back to telling that story, and this is where we're at. And you may have all sorts of resources very close and near and dear to you that you didn't know you had.
Hmm.
So tell those stories too.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. All right, next question and final question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that I prefer audiobooks over physical books. How can other parents or caregivers identify the learning style that works best for their children?
To identify that, I think is just watching you. And I mean, I knew how you struggled reading. It was very, very evident. So reading a book, I knew was never going to be something that you enjoyed doing, physically reading the book. I think school helped a lot because they did some testing with you as to where your abilities were more with auditory learning versus actual physical reading, which was very helpful. And those were some of the tools. They did have books on tape way back then, just kind of starting. So that was a possibility. They didn't have much, but it was a possibility. But the fact that you could listen to it as I watched you, you could listen to it and get it instantly and then try to read it. You were so focused on trying to read and understand the words that you didn't understand what you were reading.
Hmm.
So it was, to me, it was pretty evident that the physical aspect of reading was never going to be something you were able to do well and learn
Well,
from.
don't say never. Never say never. I'm a good reader, but it's not something I actually want to
Oh,
do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's something I don't like. And if there's a
right.
different option out there, I'm going to take that other option that I
Yeah,
like better, that works better for me, and use my
yeah.
accommodations.
It would never be your place that you go to.
Yeah.
Everyone has their preferred. It would never be your preferred area. Yeah, I think it's just watching your child, seeing where they do the best. And again, now you have so many resources. You can get leisure books, audio leisure books, and anything. So I think you just have to test that out. The school again was very helpful in that because that was for them it was very important to know how do you learn the best then? How can we what tools can we put in place? So encourage your schools to check that out. Encourage your schools to test them in different avenues as, to find out the best way that they learn.
Well,
Um,
on a very simple level too, like when I was younger, when we would read, I would struggle reading and not understand what I just read. When you read it to me, I would get it. Like, pay attention to that a little bit. Like,
yeah,
as
yeah,
parents, like, hello, like,
yeah,
when you read it to me, it's not because I'm lazy, it's because like I actually understand it and it's like absorbing.
yeah.
Also, one thing you continue to forget to talk about is, I don't know, talk to your kid,
Well,
ask them
absolutely. I
questions,
mean, to me, that's
and
just automatic, I guess.
yeah, but
But
it's
yes, you're
not for
right.
everyone.
No,
And
you're right.
having a conversation with your child saying, hey, in school they could say like, well, yeah, when someone read it, I get it more when they read it out
Right.
loud. Or,
Right.
and we're using me as an example, like my
Yeah.
disability. Everyone's disability is a little different. And so, yeah, either way, watching your child, talking to the professionals, but also just talking to your kid.
Yeah.
Like, having the
What
conversation with your
feels the
kid.
best for you, and try some options. Do some testing on your own. Try some different options.
Yep.
It isn't going to hurt anything. Well, what have you got to lose?
Awesome. Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Thanks, Mom, for hopping on here for
You're
chapter
welcome.
26. Nope, sorry,
27.
for chapter 27. And, you know, are you ready for the next one?
We're ready for
The
the next
last.
one. The last.
I know. It's crazy. Everyone else, go down below, check out the podcast episode of this chapter, grab your copy of the book or audiobook, and let us know how you like it, don't like it. Let me know. We'd love to hear from you.
Got it. See
All
you in
right.
28.
See ya.